Why does every innovation, no matter who creates it, end up owned by the same 5 companies? Apple, Google,
Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta.
Every time someone builds something revolutionary, a new app, a new idea, a new device within a few years, it's either bought,
Copied, or buried.
Here's the cycle. Startups need funding. Funding comes from venture capital. Venture capital wants exits, not revolutions. So the second your innovation looks dangerous enough to disrupt a tech giant, they buy you out, or they price you out. It's not innovation anymore, it's a conveyor belt that feeds the same few corporations who already control the platforms, data, and patents. Because real innovation isn't profitable, control is. A new technology changes the rules. But once the big 5 own it, they use it to protect the rules. That's why we keep inventing, but nothing ever really changes. We upgrade our devices, not our systems. Innovation isn't dying, it's being absorbed. Every brilliant idea eventually becomes infrastructure owned, monetized, and sanitized. You think it's a coincidence? It's not. The loop wasn't accidental, it was engineered. It started with capital, the quiet architecture of control. When innovation became investment, creativity became collateral. Every startup, every lab, every idea funded through the same gatekeepers, banks, venture capital, and funds that trace back to the same institutions that own shares in Apple,
Google, Amazon,
Microsoft, and Meta. Then came the lock-in, regulations written by the winners. Platforms that reward scale, not creativity. Once a company becomes infrastructure, it shapes the rules so no one else can become infrastructure again. The same 5 companies don't just own the tools, they own the environment where tools are made. And every click, every search, every purchase feeds them more. Data became the new oil, and they built pipelines that never stop flowing. Not by law, by design. So the system protects itself, capital funds innovation, regulation preserves control. Data ensures dependence. It's not a conspiracy, it's architecture. And until we redesign it, innovation will keep circling the same drain. The real question isn't who's inventing the future, it's who's allowed to own it. Next, how this architecture was built piece by piece, and what it would take to break it. It began when information became property. In the 1980s, deregulation opened the floodgates, patents extended, data unprotected, and software redefined as intellectual property. The digital commons was sold piece by piece, long before most people knew it existed. Then came the blueprint. Own the infrastructure and you own the future. The network, the platform, the cloud. Every innovation now depends on those layers, all owned by the same 5 companies. They built gates into every path of progress. You can't reach your audience without their platforms. You can't distribute your product without their servers. And you can't build the next breakthrough without paying rent to the ones who already own the code beneath it. This isn't tyranny, it's dependency. They don't need to crush competition, they just have to make it need them. Every developer, every creator, every startup builds on the same foundations and pays tribute through data, fees, and compliance. So now even freedom looks like innovation. But it's innovation inside a sandbox, a controlled experiment that feels limitless only until you hit the walls. The illusion of open progress hides a single truth. We don't live in the age of invention. We live in the age of permission. To break it, we'd need to rebuild from the ground up. New systems, new incentives. Open infrastructure owned by the many, not the few. Where creativity is shared value, not purchased equity. It's not just a question of technology. It's a question of courage to imagine ownership beyond profit. The architecture of control wasn't built overnight, and it won't collapse overnight. But systems built by people can be rebuilt by people. The loop ends when creation belongs again to its creators.